Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I just wanted to talk you guys through my Zara fragrances. I love perfumes and I think Zara was just my introduction into my own perfume world. Of course, I grew up in a place where people were quite fond of perfumes. My father loved fragrances. Zara, on that case, was quite affordable. And now I see a lot of people talking about how Zara fragrances can be a dupe for a lot of high-end fragrances out there. So I thought, why not tell you guys about these fragrances that I have, and I'll talk about the longevity. How do I feel about it? Is it a day fragrance or a night fragrance? So let's get started. So the first perfume that I will be talking about is my first Zara fragrance. This is Zara Fen, and luckily it is still available. This is not discontinued, so it's like one of those all-time favorite fragrances from Zara. I find this to be a very office day wear and also a very likable neutral fragrance. This is my second bottle and this is over. I just have maybe a few spritz left, but I just have this with me because it just reminds me of how much I love this perfume. This one in particular, it's a very vanilla, ambery sort of fragrance, a very powdery fragrance. So it's more for people who do not like strong, sweet fragrance. And like I said, office wear, day wear, something that you can put on every day. And I think this is, for me personally, I like combining perfumes, and this goes on very easily to complement a lot of other spicy fragrances that I have. So this just kind of gives it a more subtlety and it just tones it down a little bit. And I think it lasts for a decent amount of time. I mean, for Zara fragrances, the amount that you pay, you can't really complain about the longevity, but this one does stay on for a decent amount of time, and it just is a very powdery, ambery, vanilla fragrance. The next perfume that I have is also something that I have for a very long time. This is Black Amber, and I have used this quite a bit. This is slightly opaque, so you can see through how much is remaining as compared to this bottle from Zara Femme, which is not really visible. But the packaging is decent, but this kind of just peels off over the period of time. But then again, I have this perfume for ages now, so I'm not going to complain about that. So then we come to Black Amber. This, sometimes people say it's a very close dupe to Dior Hypnotic Poison. I think Dior Hypnotic Poison is a bit too sweet as compared to Black Amber from Zara. People also compare this one to Dolce & Gabbana The One. But again, I feel this is a toned down version of these fragrances. This is a very flowery amber smell, and it starts off a little sour, but then it tones down, and it of course reacts to your skin. But just the first spray, you feel like a very sour, citrusy fragrance, and then you just feel like, where's the amber? But as it settles down, you have that amber note coming out. I sometimes feel with this one particularly, it's like one of those dark fragrances which cannot be everyone's cup of tea. So you really got to try this one. Like with Zara Femme, I know that you cannot go wrong because this is the most likable fragrance out there. It doesn't matter, it's like this very basic traditional fragrance. But Black Amber, on the other hand, is can be a little bit strong for some people. And again, strong, not saying that it's too sweet, but like I said, it starts on with that fruity sour note, and then it kind of just adjusts to your skin, to your personality. For me, it is definitely a fragrance that I like, and some people have also described it to be a little bit like this artificial rubbery fragrance. But I think it also comes down to the line of aldehyde, and that again is not everyone's cup of tea. I would describe this more as an evening fragrance, again because it's a little bit mysterious to me. It's like a combination and plays around with my senses. So this is definitely something that I would avoid during the daytime. Alright, then we come to this perfume which I have clearly used a lot. This is a little bit of different packaging as compared to the first two fragrances we've seen. This is the Wild Orchid. It's got a fun little cap, and then starts off very fruity. Again, an evening perfume for sure. This is not your office wear because it can be a little bit intimidating, and I find this to be the kind of floral notes that I enjoy and that I like. It's definitely got that smell of jasmine, which for me is quite strong and pronounced as compared to orchid, like the name would suggest. So if you're not into jasmine sort of flowery fragrances, this might not be the one for you, but I enjoy wearing this in the evening, especially during winter time. It just kind of starts with that flowery note, but then it just settles down to a very cozy fragrance. This again is a bit sweet, powdery later on, you know, definitely jasmine in there. And I just realized I'm not so bad at describing these perfumes, but sometimes you just have to just feel it. And it is a little bit sweet, but it's also a very mature fragrance. So this is not something that a teenager would like. It's a very adult fragrance. Definitely you picture this powerful woman who's definitely, you know, on the top of a game. And later on when it settles down, it's very cozy, like I said, and that's why I find it like a perfect fragrance during the evening, and especially during winter evenings around Christmas time. It just kind of goes in that mood. The next fragrance that we have is fruity, and this I think is something that is a very young fragrance. Like I smell this and I feel like, okay, this is summer in a bottle, this is a fruit salad, this is a teenager, and it's a very young fragrance. And I use this fragrance every time I want to amp up my day or I just feel gloomy, and I just put this on. So it just reminds me of holidays, of summer. It is a very sweet, sour fragrance. Very sweet, and I think all that I've used is just like throughout summer, and during winter or fall this has a break from me. I was shocked when I bought it because this wouldn't be my first pick. This is not the kind of fragrance that I get attracted to. Like if you guys would later recap and see how I speak about the fragrances, I like the more mysterious, spicy, warm fragrances, and this is just like a very citrusy, sour, fruity, fun fragrance. It's very much in line of, let's say, the typical Davidoff cool water. So it's just like you smell it and you remember summer. So even now when I sniff just the cap, it's like a recap of summer in my head. So it's just one of those fragrances, and I definitely have this because I don't hate it. I just said that it's not one of my favorites, but this has special memories. So whenever I'm feeling a little bit down, a little bit gloomy, I have to spray this. And I know I just kind of feel a little amped up and feel happy in a way. So that's why I feel this is a very sporty, fun fragrance. Then we come to Wild Rose, and I think Zara Wild Rose has to be one of my latest fragrances that I got from Zara, and also the one that I reach to the most. I have like a travel size roll-on version of this always in my purse because this is a fragrance that cannot go wrong. I wear this to office, I wear this in the evening whenever I'm in a run and I just want to freshen up, or I would just want to feel very pretty. I put on this perfume. I love Zara Wonder Rose. It is a very sweet fragrance, definitely a strong pear smell in there. It's not too rosy, contradicting the name, but when it settles down, you just have this hint of roses somewhere in the background. Again, vanilla settles down to a very powdery fragrance, and I think this could again be in the lines of Zara Femme, which a lot of people might end up liking. And I have to say that it has a good staying power too, so I really like Wonder Rose. For me, this is a very spring, summer kind of fragrance. In fact, even during the fall, I've reached out to this one quite a lot. If you are a person who doesn't like sweet fragrances, this might not be the one for you. Very soft, feminine, fruity, floral kind of fragrance, and I think this is like one of the most complex ones out there because it's like so many personalities in one bottle, and I definitely would get another one of Wonder Rose. Then let's talk about my last perfume from Zara. This is very special and very close to my heart. This is Zara Paris. This one is just beautiful. I have this reserved for my special evenings because this is a very, very elegant fragrance. This is the only one that comes with a little bit of shimmer, glitter sort of thing. It could be a pro or a con for a lot of people. For me, it just works because it's very subtle. You don't even feel it. I think my highlighter is more stronger than this glitter in there. But I definitely would say this is a very elegant, mature evening fragrance. It's like a class apart from the rest. I definitely sense a little bit of aldehyde in there. This is something that just got me into the aldehyde world in a way. This could also be compared to Alien Goddess, actually, from Thierry Mugler. It just starts with like the strong alcohol whiff, and then it just dries down, and it's just beautiful. It has definitely like this tube rose, no citrus in there. It's not a fruity fragrance, but definitely a little bit of aldehyde, some and again a little bit of jasmine. So it's very close to my wild orchid and my black amber. It's like in one of those lines, but like the most prestigious out of the rest of my collection. I think I've ever had problems with the longevity of Zara Perfumes because I don't expect too much out of it. But I would say for me, the wild orchid or even the wonder rose somehow has a longer lasting time on me, and I'm not a person who sprays perfume on my skin. I spray it on my clothes. Hate me if you want to. You do not want to splurge like a huge amount of money buying a fragrance. You can definitely start out with Zara Perfumes, and I've never felt like this is a knockoff version or this is like somehow smelling very cheap. I never had that problem with Zara fragrances, and that's why I cannot stop collecting them. Anyway, that was all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it useful. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you're notified every time I come out with a new video. I'm sending you lots of love. Bye.